Hi everyone, we are from Team 5 and today we will explore the Shui Conservation Center. And my name is Hai An and today I will talk about the introductions. And this is a Chinese non-governmental organization established in 2007 and their core mission is species and ecosystem conservation and for geographically they focus on Yuan and Southwest China and they achieve this through a community-based conservation portal that will connect scientific monitoring directly to local community participations to reduce biodiversity loss. Next.
Okay, and I'm the guy, so I talk about the context and evidence of Shanshui now focus on Sanjinjuan and southwest of China because this area have like the wide range rich biodiversity. Also, have like important habitats for endangered species. But however, its habitat is still lack of protection, so it's creating some risk for the ecosystem and the local communities. Next is about the main problem that Shanshui to face is biodiversity degradation, high value in China, conservation landscape. It will cause the habitat loss, the species will decline, the weaker ecosystem, while also affecting the local communities that depends on this area. For about the diagram, the fishbone diagram, the main problem, as I mentioned, is biodiversity, degradation, high value in China, conservation, landscape. The first branch is the species, that's the habitat is not caring and protect enough. The second is community. Next.
My name is Ho Tam, and I talk about root cause. Moving to our first root cause, like you can see on the screen, around 80% of priority areas sit completely outside of official reserves, so it have harmful impact on some animals like snow leopards or giant pandas, and it's also weakened HHA 15 like on land and increased pressure on the biosphere integrity neck. Uh, our second root cause is about peoples. These areas are not empty; they are live in space. It also home up to 300,000 people, and the headwater of three rivers. And local community also depend on natural resources in their daily life. Next. So to address these challenges, Sansui introduced CBC models. While it not completely stop biodiversity deterioration, it mitigate races by turning local people into protectors. Next.
Next, my name is Shan, and I will explain the sensor solution, which is the CBC model. For the input sensor, they need funding, NGO partners, government support, and so on. Then the resources are turned into the activities. For example, the sensor that works with local communities to do monitoring or work with the community's conscious area, which called the CACA. The output measures our results such as the conservation side. Finally, is the outcome for environmentally. CPC help protect the habitats and species. Socially, it help local people become part of the conservation work. Next, I will explain how the CVC ensure one of the main root cause that is the species habitat loss. So many important species habitats are outside of the formal protected areas or only quickly protected. So the CVC have filled it gaps by supporting the CCAs where local communities have protect habitats, monitor species like you can see that the figure one, so that's the community involved in the CCA. They also developed the Nature Watch project, the PBA tool, which help the conservation to be more database and more targeted. For the impact, 960,000 hectares had been protected, and the project also recorded more than 4.24 million species distribution records. So environmentally, it's improved the habitat identification. Socially, it's empowered local people to become the conservation actors. So this supports the HGG 15 life on land and the biosphere boundary by making the ecosystem stronger.
My name is Long, Yeah Long. So we are facing with hard questions, how to conserve nature and also improve livelihood for local people simultaneously. The solution here is empowering them. SSCC applies CVC, which means that people are the one receiving benefit, but also become monitor, tour guides, and resources manager. They protect forests and are rewarded accordingly. As you can see here, in the Valley of the Cat projects, local people serve as tour guides and host family also provide nature experience services. Next. The evidence shows that until 2023, the projects welcomed 60 groups and 182 visitors, which generated over 353,000 USD. SSC also has a clear sharing income mechanism: 45% to the host family, 45% to the community, and 10% to the conservations. As we could see here in the result, environmentally, better monitoring which have reducing conflicts between wild animals and human. Socially, people have skill, income, and pride of their job. Next. Sensui's main goal is environmental and social value creations, and because of that, in the value creation continuum, Sensui is situated in the middle. They create environmental value while simultaneously generating income from community resources. So this is their revenue. Although having those revenue, they still face a small gap between revenue and cost, which is 548,100 RMB. Next. So, to bridge this gap, this integrated CBC appeared as a long-term solution. First, they could utilize local knowledge along with traditional craftsmanship and an existing network of ESG partners. Then, in activity phase, they standardize into a product. After that, they sell through B2B channels with ESG businesses. The result is that sustainable livelihood for the community. By doing the processes, they could cover the gap without needing any further funding. Next.
Moving on to our strategic recommendations, let's first look at the planning aspect. LSCC already has a massive database of over 4.24 million pieces records through their nature watch data and bio tool. So we'll create a public annual environmental impact dashboard to make data more visual and clear, which not only help the serial result but also help policymakers identify priority areas and show local community how their patrol improve biodiversity. Next. And the second aspect is people. Since ASCC relies on local communities for patrol, we need to show their benefits more clearly and fairly. And we recommend a formal community participations and benefits sharing plan. And this will check income sharing and community feedback, making the conservation model transparent, scalable, and trusted by local people.
Next, for scalability, first is the horizontal scalability, which means expanding the CPC to more cities or regions. The sensor already had the urban project size, so it had a pace to expand. The recommendation here is to create an urban biodiversity playbook and test it in 5 to 7 new cities with local governments, NGOs, and universities. Second is vertical scalability, which means moving from the small projects to large systems. For example, the PA tool can have the companies paying to check the biodiversity increase. So this is feasible because Sensui already had the technical tools and the strong partnerships.
Okay, for about the lesson that we could learn from Shanshui, the first one is for Vietnam and the all country, is the community-based conservation is more effective when it's matched to the local culture, also encourage the local participation.
Besides that, organizations should manage political, social, and environmental risk to support long-term conservation sustainability. Next.
And to conclude, LSCC tackled two root causes. One is weak habitat protections and limited community involvement. By 2023, they protected 960,000 hectares and benefit over 38,000 residents. And the final takeaway is that effective long-term conservation must combine scientific monitoring with community participations and sustainable livelihood. Thank you for listening.